All right. Welcome once again to Soapbox Union. And I am Danielle Lowe, owner, operator of I Am Eve Events. And only 18 days. 18 days! 18 days! 18 days left. Wow. 18 days left until Believe in Love conference is coming here to Lethbridge.
Whoop, whoop.
There's still some tickets.
Oh, you got your notification.
I'm going to put this live.
Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm Cammie Tanner, and I am the owner and designer of boxwoodbureau.com. I actually got it right this time.
Aw, we're growing. Look at us.
We're getting better.
Okay, but with that, I heard my notification. I just can't see it.
That's okay. So today, we are really excited because we're going to talk about water. And I know this sounds like a really broad subject, but I think we have some fun stories that we want to share with our own experiences and the things that we know and that we have learned about water. It's kind of fun.
Okay, I'm just still stuck on I can't post this live. I'm sorry, everyone. Cammie really did a great job holding down the fort, but I still can't figure it out.
That's
okay.
Man. Maybe you can learn for next week.
No, I keep saying that. I did it once.
Well, how am I supposed to talk to you if you're on your phone?
Here it is.
This is one of my biggest pet peeves, is people that are on their phone all the time.
Ah, booyah. I'm like watching myself. Aw.
Did that just like blow your mind?
Boom. Okay. So now am I sharing it? Oh, share.
Oh
Share
my
to
gosh,
group.
we need to get into
Oh, man, I
2019.
know.
So, yeah, so we're going to talk about water today and all the different things that we know. So, Danielle, what is your favorite thing about water?
H2O. Just joking. Chemistry.
Do you write it sometimes, H2O, still as an adult? Because I remember in school when we were doing chemistry, we thought, this is so cool. I'm writing H2O for every time you have to say water. Did you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I still
yeah.
do it. I actually...
I do it too, but now it's not like a, yeah, I'm so cool. Look at how I'm writing water, H2O.
Two hydrogens.
But I do it when I'm so tired of writing that I'm like, H2O, because I don't want to take the time to write water all the way out.
It is quite a long, complicated word. Just joking.
I know.
Okay, well, here's a funny story about water. So my last name is Lowe, and when I go substitute teach, I often substitute teach in French immersion. And water in French is eau. You know, like the Cirque du Soleil. Eau.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's where they got their name. But because...
That sounds Japanese, but whatever.
Tokyo? I don't know. But because it's French, it has an article. But because it's like the le or las, you know how every
Right.
word is either masculine or feminine.
feminine.
Yes. Well, when a word starts with a vowel, it's just L apostrophe. So actually, O with an article is...
So when I see it written l'école on the school, that's the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
but O with an article is low. So whenever I tell the kids my name, I say, I'm Madame Lowe. Like, and then I'll say, like, est-ce que je peux boire de l'eau? Because that means, well, it's in French immersion, so they know what I mean. So
That sounded like a tad Valley Girl, I'm not going to lie, the way you said that.
In French? Valley Girl French?
No, but it was just like the way, da, 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 da.
Well, usually it's to like grade oneers, and they know, can I go to the bathroom? Can I get a drink of water? And so often they'll call me, Madame boire de l'eau. That's what they'll call me. Madame drink of water.
Aw.
So maybe I'm just a tall
You're a
drink of
tall
water.
drink of water.
Just joking.
However you want to spin that.
That's right. If you want to feel like a celebrity, go hang out with grade oneers.
It's kind of true.
It is. They really do love you at that age.
They do.
Wow. Hey, she was my teacher. I'm like, yes. I will give you the wave.
So that's your favorite story about
No.
water, is because it's
Because
your
it's
name.
me.
It's a good one.
Well, no, that's not my favorite story, but that's probably the one I'll start. How about you?
Well, I don't have a favorite water story, but I'm a big lake person. A lot of people are ocean people, but I am a lake person.
Like reservoirs or lakes? Like
Ew, ugh, gross. No, like mountain lakes.
Oh, okay.
I love them, and I love the rocks in them, and I love the calmness of them. In fact, my favorite thing is when it's just crystal clear glass, and you get that double perception of, it's like looking in a mirror of the horizon or of whatever's on the horizon.
Sorry, I totally wasn't listening.
Rude.
But the horizon and water, I heard that. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if I've shared this. It just looks like I'm sharing in goals.
Anywho, I can tell that I'm super important.
I love digital. I love digital water. Virtual water.
Cool. Alrighty.
Okay, no. Mountain lakes.
Yes.
Well, here's the truth about water. As a young girl, I was kind of terrified of water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I always thought things would come and, like fish would come up to your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yuck.
Some people actually do that and pay to have fish come up their legs and eat the skin off your feet and legs.
Yeah, I mean,
Would
if
you
I
ever
was,
do that?
If I was there for the intent,
I don't think I'd do that.
I would.
No, I would not.
But my feet, I think the fish would see my feet and be like, not today. Unless I used a lot of Cammy's Boxwood Bureau lotions. I'd be like, delicious. Hey, go get that girl. Her feet are gross, but.
So you had a
lotion's
fear
good.
of water because things would come up.
And touch you.
Yeah.
And I realized that was very irrational because the fish are more scared of you
It's
than you are
true,
of
but
them.
I can kind of relate to that. I had a couple experiences with water that kind of set me off, which because I had
Or the slimy seaweed. That's kind of disgusting
but
too.
I had terrible vision as a child. Well, even as an adult, I had LASIK, so now I'm
LASIK?
good to go. You know.
Oh, vision. Your real
Right.
vision. I thought you meant like a journey vision. Oh, but you're actually talking your eyes.
Yeah, my vision. So I wore contacts all the time, and I hated wearing glasses, so I only wanted to wear contacts. But when you went swimming, you're not supposed to wear your contacts because you can lose them. And so I would never put my head underwater. But I always...
Oh, that's dedication.
I know.
So you had the perfect hair in the
Seriously.
swim pool?
Well, no, I kind of like swim like on my back and get it wet and cry. No, anyway, so I would never put my
You were
face
that
underwater.
You were
and-
the lady that just had
oh,
perfect hair in the pool.
not really, but anyway, thanks for trying. But I didn't like to put my face underwater and open my eyes, and I felt kind of gypped because all the kids that I would swim with, they'd be like, "Open your eyes underwater, you can see." Look at that. I was like, I can't.
Why didn't you get goggles?
Because I couldn't make them stay on. They would always leak water in, and then I'd come up and everything was foggy, and it was just a disaster. So I just didn't put my face under. So when you can't see underwater, that was my whole point that I'm getting
takes away the fun.
You don't know what's down there. It's like a, yeah.
Yeah, and so also my other, there's 3 water fears. That's a lot of fears.
So something coming up and biting you.
Something coming up and biting you. The next one was when I went water skiing. I got up my first try. I was maybe 10 or 11. Got up my first try skiing. I thought, oh, this isn't so bad. And my tip hit the water. Smash. That was my face.
Okay, I have a water skiing story too that gave me a fear of.
And after that, I was like a tuber
Water
for
sports.
life.
Okay, and I feel your pain, and you always felt kind of lame because it's like, I can do the sea biscuit.
What is the sea biscuit?
Well, it's like a tube.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's just the yeah. But
I know.
when I was learning how to water ski, we went to Lake Blaine down in Montana, and my grandpa always had a ski boat, and he wanted all the grandkids to ski because he skied and my dad skied, and so one summer he was going to teach all the grandkids to water ski, and he Jimmy rigged these water skis because this is back in the day where they thought, well, if we could make it easier for them, then so they had it Jimmy rigged where the the handle part was also attached to the skis. So if you let go, you still kept going. And the adults in the back of the boat held the rope, so if we went under, they would just let go.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're afraid, you forget to let go. So
Yeah,
you
I
can
think that's
see
what I did too. My
where I'm
skis
going
hit
with
and-
this. So I went, hit it!
With full confidence.
And held on, and I couldn't get my butt up out of the water. Still can't get my butt up out of the water, but I went and got dragged underwater, and my grandpa was not paying attention. He was like looking forward and not looking backward at me, and I got dragged through the water. And I remember like kind of looking up and seeing the water rush past me, like, I can't get out of here.
I did eventually learn wakeboarding. Wakeboarding. That I could do. That was okay.
But yeah, that freaked me out, and I do not
Yeah.
like water skiing or water sports. Like I said,
Still? You don't do it anymore?
I'm a tuber for life.
I have.
Still don't.
Actually, last summer, I think we went out to the lake with my dad.
Yeah,
And it took me a few times, but eventually, like, I got up.
yeah, awesome.
Wakeboarding. And, yeah. But, yeah, at our age, I don't want to get hurt in
I
the
don't
water.
care.
And then my third experience with water was we were going, you know how you go tubing down these creeks? Well, it was spring runoff, so good little rapids. And we were going with girls on a girls' camp. And we put our tube in and we're floating down the river, and all of a sudden these rapids come. And we had life jackets on, but as we hit these rapids, we both got bumped off the tube, and I went under. Now, your life jacket pulls you up, but the current was pulling me down. And it wasn't deep, but I could see the top of the water. And then I could also, like, I was being pulled, and so I was just kind of stuck in this one spot. And, like, you kind of wriggle around, and I thought, okay, come on, like, move. Nothing. I was just stuck there. I didn't think to take off my life jacket. That's what I should have done.
Not when you're in a panic. You never think of the
I
right
was like
thing to do.
12. And so then I just kind of remember surrendering, being like, there's the surface, and I'm down here, and it's up there, and moving's making no difference, so, oh well. Luckily, my friend Marla grabbed me by my hair, reefed my head out.
Wow.
It hit a log, and then I just slipped out with the current.
Wow.
So water almost took me, and then I would have never been here with you. So those are my three, like, water.
So you really don't. You have a fear of water?
Yeah, except for I've decided to overcome it, because you can't live in fear of water.
No, it's everywhere.
It's so important.
You can't.
How much of the earth is water?
Oh, well, that's easy.
You
Isn't
know.
it like 70% or something?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like 3/4.
Yes, look,
What?
70%. I don't know how
Boom.
to turn this off.
Yeah, I remember that from science back in the school days. I've always remembered that.
Yeah.
We are a H2O planet.
The blue planet is what we are called.
Our science with Cammie. I should have had my glasses.
Neat.
Yeah, there you
Well,
go.
here's a few little more science facts. 97% of the Earth's water is in oceans. And
I forgot you're a teacher, so
I
you like to
know.
give the facts.
97% is also undrinkable. So 3%.
Because it's salt water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3% of the water is fresh water. So we're lucky here in Canada.
So
much
it's
fresh water.
interesting you talk about that, because I'm going to ask you, are you a tap water drinker or a bottled water drinker?
Totally tap.
Good. Yay! So am I. I watched a documentary years ago about bottled water, and I was like, I will never drink it. Not that I never, but it's not going to be my main source of consumption.
Yeah.
Both
I do like the handiness that it's there.
Well,
like
if you're going to
often-
go camping or something, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I just drink, actually just from the filtered water from the fridge. I don't buy bottled water. There is so much that I have learned over the years about it that
Yeah.
I'm like, what's, like, Why, people? Why? Why are you buying bottled water?
Well, you know what's funny is when I lived in France, they drink bottled water.
It's interesting you bring that up because there is a
And
place
it's
in France.
So cheap to buy bottled water.
But there is a place in France, I believe it's in Paris, that it's like a water bar, and you go up there and you can buy all these extravagant waters
Yeah.
and just sit there and drink them and taste them and enjoy them. And I just thought, oh my goodness, like first world problem of what bottled water to drink today. I just thought that was so
But
crazy.
if you do choose a bottled water, which one do you choose?
Well, it's not going to be
Evian?
It's not. You know what? I would probably get one from. Is it Norway?
Oh, Norway. How come?
Well, because they have some of the best water, and they have. It's like one of their largest resources.
Oh,
So
in Norway?
There's actually people that have like they own their own waterfalls because their land is so big and they have so much water up there because of the glaciers that they're turning it now into money makers for themselves. I don't want to get water from an area where it's a drought or a depletion. I will get it where it is
Abundant.
and abundant.
Okay, so funny thing is Dave loves hiking, and whenever we go hiking, he's always like, empty out the water bottles. I want fresh mountain water.
Yes, we used to do that all the time too.
And I was always kind of a little bit méfiant.
Because you didn't want to
doubting.
get beer fever.
I know, I don't want, like, you drink it first. And so now, over the years, I've come to trust him and trust our water. That actually, when we go to Waterton up hiking, it's really lovely.
Why don't you just get yourself a carbon filter just to be on the safe side that you just whoosh, run it through and then you know you're good to go.
That sounds like a lot of work.
No. Like you
you're
can
saying.
buy them.
I know, we have a water bottle that looks just like a water bottle, but actually has a really good filter. It will filter out everything except for radiation. There is a water bottle that will filter radiation.
Thank goodness we don't have a lot of radiation around here. Actually, when I lived in North Carolina, there were nuclear power plants all over the place. And there was this one lake that was nestled up to one of the nuclear power plants, and the water was always really warm, and the fish were really big.
Did they have 3 eyes?
No, that's funny.
Just checking.
I always thought of that Simpsons episode, too, with the fish with the 3 eyes every time I went to that lake. That's hilarious.
Oh,
But,
my goodness.
yeah.
If you're just joining us now, we are on Jess FM, or you can check us out on Jess FM YouTube channel. And I am Danielle Lowe.
And
yeah.
are you going to keep going?
I was just going to say my name, then say what I do.
Say my name.
And no one is around you. Anyway, I am the owner-operator of I Am Eve Events, and 18 days till our first event. So excited.
There we go. And I'm Cami Tanner. I am the designer and owner of boxwoodbureau.com. And today we are talking about water, and we finished kind of talking about our fears of water, and if we're a tap drinker, bottled water drinker, and some of those little stories that went with that. But yeah, I'm not a...
Are you an ice water drinker?
No, I only like my water at room temperature. I do not like ice water.
Aw, we are like twins inside. Water babies.
But I really struggle.
This is like the episode of High Fives. The water high five.
We always have something. But I really struggle drinking water, and I know how important it is because it does so much for us. They actually call water the fountain of youth. Literally, it is the fountain of youth if you were looking for that magical miracle thing to keep you looking young and your organs functioning and you're healthy and strong. Why are you laughing at that?
I'm laughing because
Oh, okay.
of a few things. That is really good. I probably don't drink enough water, too.
I know I don't.
Because I really hate peeing, and I guess it's a good thing to get all those toxins out. But
Is that why you don't like? Because you just don't like to pee?
like, yeah.
I don't want to be bothered with having to go to the bathroom all the time, so I'm just not going to drink water today.
I mean, when you say it like that.
Yeah,
but
it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Start drinking water, girl. That's
I
just
do.
ludicrous. No, these are words for myself too, because I hyper focus.
Oh, on drinking water?
No, on
Oh.
just everyday things. And when I hyper focus, I forget to eat and drink. I literally forget to do it. So then I have had bouts of dehydration where I can lose my concentration and I get really lethargic and really tired and really irritable and I can't figure out what the heck is going on with me. And then I'll chug a bottle of water and within 10 minutes I'm like, oh, I feel normal again. Funny thing.
You know what's interesting? My sister was kind of had that same like lethargic, like
Oh, you're
tired,
really tired and
exhausted.
sleepy.
And she went to the doctor and did all these tests, and that's what came back. She was dehydrated.
Yeah, and you're just in this fog, like nothing
And
makes
sometimes
sense.
it was so severe that she actually, water wasn't enough to overcome the dehydration, and she actually had to do kind of some electrolyte drinks, so a Gatorade, Powerade type of thing.
So, yeah, okay, keep going.
No, that's pretty much the end of the story.
I really want to have this done because I think, genius, this is the perfect solution. I'm going to go down to the nursing program at the college and have the students practice their IVs on me. Just leave it in, and then I'll just keep getting bags and just carry it around with me. And then I don't ever have to drink water again,
Yeah,
but it's always going in me. And I'm like, perfect solution for the busy woman. Just put an IV in and go.
Boxwood Bureau Water Edition.
Kate,
You're
you might
gonna
think
walk
I'm
around
dumb.
with an IV just for water consumption?
Well, if I'm working at home, yeah. Because
Hook me up.
I really do get dehydrated because I don't remember to drink water. So now it's just like take the guesswork out of it and just IV it. I have tried.
Too busy to drink water? IV it. That could be your slogan.
That's like an SNL like funny commercial, right? But I have tried infusing my water with fruit. I've tried drinking ice water,
That I do
warm water. I've tried everything, and I struggle through this so much. It is just like my nemesis in life is drinking water. But yet I have to do it to maintain. Oh, so many problems.
I was going to say, first world problems. So much,
It is.
so much clean drinking water.
So much water, so little to whatever. But it is like kind of
It
the
is
thing that we
important.
should be doing. And I even downloaded an app to help me. Didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody help me. Give me a solution here.
What is the solution?
I don't know. What is it?
IV bag.
IV bag.
Duh.
Or can we just create some little...
Hashtag solve your own problems.
Can we just create some little capsule like the Jetsons where they just, pop it down. It's like, ooh, turkey dinner. And then they go. Can we do something with water where it just
Okay.
like, psh?
I used to have this dream where I would smoke water cigarettes.
Oh, thank goodness you didn't say weed because I thought that's where you were going.
Not weed. Water cigarettes. They were so refreshing. And I feel like vaping is not that. But they were just like
No.
this inhalation of refreshing water in and out. And actually,
Yeah, invent that. I'll use it all the time.
water cigs.
We are on a roll today. People, don't steal our ideas.
That's right.
We have first dibs because we are going to patent these and become millionaires.
Fountains of youth. To go or to stay home and be hooked up to an IV. Like,
Yeah, I need it at home,
man.
and then when you're on the go,
Okay.
water cigs.
water. Whoa. This is too many ideas for one show. Water. Back to water.
Back to water.
So I did look up, can you drink too much water? And do you know what the answer is?
Yes, and I've had this experience.
You can die. You haven't had that experience,
Believe
have
me,
you?
I felt like I was going to, and I'll tell you my story.
Okay, please do.
So I was working at Cooley Brew, and in the front is a restaurant, in the back is the brew house, and I was just hanging out at the front one day, just talking to the girls, the servers and the bartenders up there, and this one girl has a gallon, like a milk jug. She carries around with her with water. And she drinks that every day. And I said, you drink that much every day? And she goes, and then some. And I was like, no. I was like, no way.
So
and
game on.
She goes, yeah. And I was like, game on. And I said, how many cups of water is that? And she rambled off some number. I can't remember what it was. And I said, time me. And this is the only time that I didn't need my IV. But I drank that water and I just guzzled it. And it was like a mindset where I just chugged it. And I'd fill up another glass and drank it. When I got home, I was so sick. I felt nauseous and aching. And I felt like I was having flu symptoms. And I thought, what the heck is going on with me? And I looked into it and I went, oopsie.
You're waterlogged.
I was waterlogged.
I don't know waterlogged. I made that up.
Well, I just used it, so it's a thing now. And I couldn't believe how unbelievably sick it made me just drinking that much water. So,
Well,
have you done that before?
No,
Oh,
my
okay.
only experience, well, I was just going to say there's actually a name for it because I was looking up world records of water.
Yeah.
Jake Bronstein drinks a 16-ounce pint glass
Okay.
in 6 seconds, 6.03.
Yeah, but that's easy because they're just opening up their throat and pouring it down.
It comes with a warning that says, do not try this at home if you are not an expert because drinking that much water that quick can be really dangerous.
Because you drown yourself?
Speed drinking can be extremely dangerous. Please do not attempt this record unless you are above the age of 18 and trained as a professional speed drinker. I'm going to trust him.
Okay, sure. But 16 ounces isn't a lot.
No, that's not a lot. But
But I understand it's the action of it.
yeah, full 8-ounce glass in 2.25 seconds.
That's pretty dang fast.
That's very fast. Also with a warning. And it says, drinking excessive and extreme amounts of fluid, usually water, can result in water intoxication,
Yeah, that's what I had.
a potentially fatal condition.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Good thing I lived. Hey, we both had water experiences we lived.
You chose yours. I guess I chose to go
Okay,
tubing.
that was a dumb idea. I'm never doing that again.
Okay, well, huge
But-
amounts of water upsets the normal balance of electrolytes,
Right.
such as sodium in
Yeah.
the body.
So when you're going from totally dehydrated to whoosh, yeah, it's not a good thing. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing, is what my grandma used to always say.
And she was right.
It was true.
Grandmas are always true. Are always, well, most
She was
always
meaning
right.
it for ice cream, but it applies to every aspect of life, doesn't it?
Unless when sometimes grandmas get a little bit racist or like a little bit just off. You're like, Grandma, that was 100 years ago. You're not allowed to
What are
say.
you talking about?
Doesn't your grandma say things where you're like, Grandma, no, you can't say that? Or
Probably. I don't remember, though.
anyway, all right. Sorry, grandmas. Didn't mean to throw you
We
under the
love
bus.
you all, but...
My only experience with water was one time. I remember talking to one of my boyfriends, and he said, I'm doing this diet, and the hardest thing about this diet is every morning when you wake up, you have to drink 2 big glasses of water. And I thought, oh, okay. And I really hadn't ever dieted. But then my mom, I was in France serving a mission, and my mom had sent me a Christmas dress. And the dress was like a little too small. So then I thought, oh, shucks. The dress was too small. I was not too big.
Of course.
And I thought, oh, shucks, I should maybe diet. Then I thought, I don't know many diets. I'll do water diet, which sounds really crazy, but all it was that I actually drink the amount of water you're supposed to drink in a day. Because remember I told you I didn't like drinking water because I didn't like having to pee.
That's funny.
So I did it, and it worked. I fit into the dress.
Amazing.
I know one time later on in life, when I was doing some weight loss challenge, a Herbalife thing, and they're like, have you ever dieted? And I'm like, yes, water diet. And she looks at me all crazy. What's that? I'm like, oh, it's not that crazy.
So, do you understand why water made you lose weight?
No. Probably because, well, no, tell me.
Oh, okay.
Teach me.
Because
Science with Cammie.
That's so funny. Because water helps you release toxins from your system. And what your body does is when you have free radicals and toxins in your body, that's why you create fat cells, because your body's creating little pockets of fat around all these toxins so that it won't harm you and make you sick. And so that's why people get fat is because, well, one of the reasons is because you are not purging your toxins from your body. And you need to do that with both water and gelatinous foods like chia seeds and aloe vera and stuff, because the gelatinous foods help act like the fat cells that wrap around the toxins and then flushes it away. So when
you get a massage, that's why they tell you drink lots of water?
Because you're starting to release toxins, and if you don't drink water to flush that out of your system, it will build up and you'll get sick.
Okay.
And so drinking water helps flush the toxins out.
Sign me up for water IV.
Helps you lose. Just joking. Right? Another benefit.
Water diet.
So it is so important. It helps your kidneys function better so you don't get kidney stones, because nobody wants that. And your liver to function. It does so many. It gets rid of the wrinkles in your face. There is a lady that
black, like the blackness under your eyes.
Yeah, there is a lady that she looked kind of old for her age, and so she started just consuming a lot more water, and it made her skin all plump and beautiful, and then she dropped 20 years in her appearance. So that's why I said it's called the Fountain of Youth, because it makes you look younger, and it helps all your organs function better and more properly, and it's just so good. But I just hate drinking it.
Yours taking the time, mine's what happens after you drink it.
But I have a little throat too, and every time I drink it, like I can't do this where people just chug water because I gag. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like it cold. It hurts my teeth.
That
but
too.
I do like it infused. I
and
love
the brain freeze.
Warm water. I love teas. I love.
See, I've been trying to drink more tea lately, just because it's another way to get water into the system.
Yeah, I like teas. I like warm water, and just water. Good old
Helps with your
H2O.
concentration.
Yes. Oh, I was going to say, by the time you are thirsty, you are already dehydrated. So if you are feeling thirsty at all, your body's already saying, too late, so go drink.
Do you know what is the only thing that I really drink water and helps me drink water?
What?
Eating Chinese food.
Sorry.
Every time I'm done, I'm like, oh, I'm so thirsty. And I just...
All the MSG or what?
I guess so, or the sodium. But Chinese food works like a charm.
So if you want to drink more water, go to the Dynasty.
Chili, salt, and pepper spare ribs. Every time.
All right.
Fabulous.
I don't even know where to go
Moving
with that.
on.
Who knew all the wonderful world of water?
See what you learned from us?
Okay, water as like celebration.
Yeah.
One of my most favorite places is the shower. For what I don't like in lake water. Actually, I will say this. Lake water. Mountain lakes, but they're so cold. If they had warm...
So
Hot springs! I like hot springs.
There you go.
But wait, let me finish the
Okay.
story. I did decide that I had to get over my fear of water.
Mm-hmm.
So a few summers ago, my mom and my sister and I went to France, and my mom's sister lives right on the Mediterranean Sea, like a quick little drive, and there we are. And she said, "Let's swim out to that buoy out there." Ooh. Like, look at all the sharks and fish that could touch me. And I just thought, no, you have to release it. Like, living in fear, not worth it. So there, in the Mediterranean Ocean, I conquered my fear of swimming in open water. No fishes got me that I know of.
Yeah. Well, you know what would be a great place for you?
Where?
The Dead Sea. Because
You can just float.
you just float, and there's no fish because they can't survive.
Because of all the
I think
salt.
you need to go there and just have
I would
fun water
love
experience.
to go there. Although, here's one thing about water.
Okay.
So water, when it moves, right, loses the sediment and particles in it, which allows more oxygen to come into the water, which oxidizes the water, and oxidize just purifies and cleans it. So that's why when you're up in the mountains and the moving water is where you put your bottle to drink from, not in the stale.
Make sure you look upstream, see there's nothing dead floating in the river first.
Or anything peeing upstream.
We always had to do that. Go look upstream and see if there's a deer that's dead in the river. Then you can drink the water.
Anyway, so that movement causes that purification process to happen. So in the Dead Sea, the Jordan River actually feeds the Dead Sea, and it feeds another one, Sea of Galilee, I think is what it is.
Okay.
And the Dead Sea stops moving. And that's why the salt builds up, and nothing can live there except for really like advanced organisms that can live in that niche environment of so salty. But the Sea of Galilee keeps moving, going through the whole water cycle, and blesses everyone around it. And so I think the little lessons by Danny and Cammie, is keep moving, keep moving.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Keep moving and flowing and giving what you got. If you stay stagnant, to get purified again, you got to keep moving.
Okay, so I had a really cool experience with water and that whole concept of renewal and keep moving. So I was having a really hard time in my life where just things were just not going well at all, and I was really struggling and stuck, and I didn't know what to do. I went to Jose's import shop, down.
Right on.
She is an amazing lady, and for whatever reason, I just went in her store, and I was walking around, and she doesn't know me, but she was looking over at me, and then she came over, and she goes, I don't normally do this, but for some reason I feel like I need to tell you this. You need to get to water. Get to a lake, get to a river or something, and put your feet in it. You need to get to water. And she had no idea what I was going through or what story I had, but I left there just kind of crying because I didn't really understand, but I felt the impact of it.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, what did she mean by that? What was her purpose in saying that? So I started doing some research, and I found out that water has a very spiritual side to it because it is, because we are a water planet, it's a life-giving planet, and everything is connected through water. And when you believe in spirit and energies, everything is connected, everything has a purpose in life. And when we are going to flowing water, that it is renewing your life and your energy that you are being depleted of. And it is so important to have a connection to water because of the life-giving abilities that it has, the renewal properties that it has, and it's an amplifier. So just like, how frankincense, the essential oil, is an amplifier, when you think of whales in the ocean, and when they talk, you can hear it for miles and miles. So water is an amplifier. So it can pull energy from all over the area, and you can draw up from it, from the water. Isn't that cool?
It is cool. Well, and I will have to say this for water. Since I've changed my tune, and maybe too because like swim pools and stuff, they used to dry out my skin, and but I've just learned to like embrace it. And I think the other thing too is my older sister and my younger brother were both just water, like, what's it called? Water. What's the phobia and like water?
I don't know. I don't know the
loving. I can't remember what the word is.
They love water?
Love water.
Yeah, and there are some people that they're like, if I could live in the ocean, I would live in the ocean, and whatever. Some people just have that strong
part
connection
mermaid.
to it. Yeah.
And my mom is terrified of water. She taught us all to swim because she never learned how to swim. And anyway, so I've kind of grew up in this environment where either you were all in or all out. And now I found some middle ground that I actually like to kind of just float. And I find water a good silencer because it just kind of takes all the thoughts away. And this year, 2019, when I didn't say this when we were talking about goals, but this is the year I'm going to finish my book.
Yay!
And when I was in Vancouver Island, is that it? What is
I
it?
don't know where
Victoria?
you were. Where were you?
Wherever that is, in Long Beach is there, on the island. I'll just say on the island.
On the island. We were vacationing on the island.
Anyway, when I went to Long Beach, it was amazing. Like my book just flowed out of me, and I just couldn't stop writing. And the same thing was true with in Prince Edward Island. I can see where Anna Green Gables was born because that land and the water just practically write stories themselves.
It does. So I was kind of looking a little bit for today about water and healing. So because it has such healing properties to it, they were kind of connecting with when we think of relaxation, what do we always think of? It will always be connected to water. It's like sitting by the ocean or sitting by a river or like thinking of the rain falling. And these are all things that help us relax or we find a connection to with relaxation. And it's because of the healing properties of water and that it kind of relaxes our mind, relaxes our thoughts.
In vitro, those sounds were all water, right?
When we were
in water.
Yeah. When we were in the womb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that in vitro or in uterus or in, I don't know. When we were inside, swimming around. It's where we came from.
You're hilarious.
I don't know. Okay, whoa, sorry. Where do you go from there?
I don't know. Where should we go from there?
Okay, I'll go. I know where I'll go. Hi, I'm Danielle Lowe. Owner, operator of I Am Eve Events. Only 18 days until we are partying, talking in person. Soapbox Union. I was going to say Soapbox Bureau. Soapbox Union.
You do it too. It's really hard.
Soapbox Union is going to be there at I Am Eve Events. High five, because that's what we've been doing. Anyway, I was going to say I never finished this thought. Surprise, I never finished a thought. Okay, the shower is my happy place.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we were there.
When you just have all the water washing over you and hot water, I always say the thing I will miss most about this life is just that feeling of hot water and being totally clean.
Uh-huh. Well, the shower is my crying place. It's where I go to just like ugly cry because it washes your face at the same time. So it's like cry.
None of that snot coming down. I also cry in the shower.
It is so wonderful, and I know a lot of women. It's their crying place to go.
Well, and it just
and it muffles the sound.
Okay, well, one time in the shower with a shower cry, I cried so hard. This has only ever happened once that my face started to tingle. I thought, oh, crazy. And so I looked it up online, crying so hard your face tingles, and it's a thing. I didn't make it up. I'm not feeling online. What did people do before they had online? Just felt like they were
it was called the
mutants.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
Do you think they have crying till your face
I
tingles?
will buy
in there?
letter D today.
Crying till your face tingles. No, they didn't put that in there. Let's look it up. Someone look that up for us. Anyway, and they said that often it's in little teeny tiny babies. I don't know how they were measuring that, but they'll cry, you know, when those little babies just cry so hard. That their face tingles. And I thought,
how do they know that? Do they ask the baby? Do they put sensors? Like, how do you know what babies are feeling?
Unknown.
Well, so someone could have just made this up and go, babies tingle when they cry.
Well, it makes, you know how when they get in that, like, I don't know how they know it. I didn't look up that far.
Like sensors on. We sound really stupid right now.
Yeah, we do. Anyway, if you have cried till your face tingles, you are not alone. And the thing was, it was just look up. and then get that water flowing back.
Sometimes a good cry.
Oh, feels so good.
So it's like scratching an itch. It just feels good.
I know some people, I have a friend who's like, I wish I had the gift of weeping or crying. I'm like, oh.
It's a wonderful thing. I love it.
Me too.
Maybe that's why I do it so much.
I just like mine is sometimes the snot that comes, but I like the water pouring down your face. I don't think when people are like, that's an ugly cry, I'm like, it's a cry.
It's a cry.
I have mastered the art, though, of crying and not letting my voice waver.
Ooh,
I know.
nice.
Thank you.
You're like those romantic movies where they're just a tear, but you can
Slow
still
tear.
pour your heart out.
I can still get through the lines. Yeah, it's kind of a talent.
Oh.
All right, I wanted to talk about some of the symbolisms of water in your
Ooh.
dreams.
Do we have those? Have you had those?
Water dreams? Just the water cigarettes. But maybe as we go through this.
Maybe something will. I've had dreams where I'm swimming in something and there's no bottom,
Oh.
and you're just looking into a dark abyss.
Okay, well, they talk about different.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't
That's
have the
like-
meanings down.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
At first it just talks about the way the water feels. Like, if it's cold, it might symbolize something being cold or distant or unemotional.
I
Or
don't
if it's
know.
hot,
Okay.
rage.
Yeah.
So the temperature. Boiling water may represent emotions like rage and anger or calm, peaceful. Dirty water, that you're holding on to a lot of negative stuff. And clean water may represent you're in touch with true nature and spirituality.
Huh. I'm honestly trying to think of a dream that I've had where water was a part of it, but other than the lake, I can't.
I know. Well, how about this? If you're in deep water, so that might be no bottom. It means you're in over your head.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, truth revealed. It's like the one
Tell
where all
everybody.
your teeth fall out.
That
They crumble.
Okay, I've actually heard that when women have dreams, this is off topic, but when women have dreams that they're missing teeth or they have loose teeth, it means they're pregnant.
Oh,
Oh,
that's not what my dream sources said. But I don't know.
thanks, internet. See, this is why we should have stick with the Encyclopedia Britannica, because not everything's
that's
true on the internet.
That's true.
Not everything's
Wow.
true on the internet.
Okay, so then in deep water, like that, you're in over your head. Water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Do you see water? Maybe we're not paying attention to the water enough in our dreams. It's kind of in the background.
We don't even pay attention to water in our daily lives. We take it for granted way too much. Have you ever noticed when you have your hot showers every day and then something goes wrong with your water heater and you have a cold shower and you're like, oh, I hate this dude. It sucks. And it just ruins your day. We take it for granted having nice hot water and water that just pours out of. I remember my kids when they were little, they would always leave the tap or the faucet on and running, and I would always say, turn it off because you're wasting all the water for the fishes. You're taking all the water out of the ocean so the fishes can't swim. So it would make them close it. But we just take it for granted.
I did read that.
Why am I saying that word so funny? Granted.
Granted.
Ay, Chihuahua.
Well, and I did read somewhere that it said if we use the consumption that we are using without any, like restoring, and if we had a drought, well, that's actually quite. But anyway, the point is, try and conserve water. I still remember the lesson about turning off the tap when brushing your teeth.
But actually, okay, it's funny that you say about having water and like a plant if there's an emergency.
Yeah.
I've actually learned how to make a homemade water filter.
Oh.
And like how, sorry, I'm saying like again, I hate it when I do that. And how to find water. And do you ever use those water rods? Have you ever done
like
that?
the divining with the little sticks?
Water divining.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so fun. But I've done that, and then how you actually find water, and then how you can build yourself a filter so that you can filter your own water. If there was ever I remember way back when where we had a water issue in Lethbridge, and we weren't
When
able.
it flooded,
we
and
were-
the bridge was
You
flooded.
couldn't use the water, or you had to boil it. But then some people weren't able to boil their water, and so they had to buy bottled water. And then it was just like stampede to the store
So
to
who
get
could
water,
get it?
and it was like, what do you do? Like, what are your options if you? So I also bought one of those UV filters from the camping store, like a really expensive one that you just put the UV light in it and it'll kill everything. So
Oh.
that, and then a water filter. So you should be prepared.
Yeah,
Because
we have 4 water bottles.
I have
and-
lived through experiences where I couldn't have water.
Yeah.
But the point is how much we take it for granted. Just the abundance of water that we have.
It's true.
There's places like in Spain where I think it's northern Spain where they have a water festival and they're running through the streets and like just pouring water on everybody because they're celebrating their abundance of water as their resource. But then southern Spain, they're in a drought and they have a depletion, and it's like you feel so bad because they're out there just like pouring the water on and like spraying each other with it in the streets, and then the people in the south are drought ridden and don't have enough water, and you're like, what's wrong with you people?
Share.
Let's
Get a water IV.
or there's places in Africa where they limit the amount of water that you get per household.
Yeah.
And you can only use a certain amount, and once that's gone, then you have to pay a huge amount to
get more.
So we're very lucky.
Yeah, I actually did feel very privileged when I was looking up water stories, water things. I thought, it's so easy to access it, and that we do. Let's have a gratitude moment for water. You go first. I'm grateful for water.
I'm glad I got water.
Okay.
It's great. I love it. It's the best.
I guess I don't know what else you
Well, I mean, I didn't know what you want me to say. You
No,
put me
that
on the
is-
spot.
I don't know. Well, maybe a moment of silence for gratitude.
No, but when I was looking into bottled water, here is just a fun fact to be grateful that you have tap water that you can drink, people. If you bought a bottle of water a day, because most people live off bottled water, they have a phobia of drinking
Oh,
tap
really?
water. They think it tastes horrible and that it's not as healthy or clean as bottled water, which is a complete misconception. Anyway, if you bought one bottle of water every day for a year, that would cost $1, and that's just a bottle. How many are you supposed to drink a day? That would be $365. That same amount of water of a year from drinking tap water would only cost 10 cents.
Savings.
Right? And then you have a
How
fridge.
is that?
You have a fridge that filters it. So even better, just drink the filtered water from your fridge instead of tap water if you've got that much of a problem with it. I'm just saying, that's what I do. So y'all can do whatever else you want.
No, it never bothers me. I think we live in a country that has beautiful
Actually,
water.
Lethbridge they won awards for best tasting water in Canada?
I don't know.
Oh, they have.
I do know that there was a time when I lived in McGrath where, like, around springtime, you'd get the water and then you'd kind of see it all settle out. Did you ever get that in the city? You city folk never had
I
that.
used to hang out at the fish pond. That was fun.
I do love, water sports. I used to go fishing all the time with my dad. Loved it. And my sister won biggest fish.
Nice.
Caught.
I remember I went to the Home and Garden show when I was a little kid here at the exhibition, and they had this big pool, and it was filled with fish, and you could like stick a rod in. They had like 1,000 fish in like this pool, so it made it really easy for kids. But you were so excited.
Well, the
to
fish
catch
pond isn't that much different than your fish pond. You could just see them all.
Yeah, true.
No, we used to like go to the river, to the fish pond, to lakes. We fish. My dad still fishes, takes the girls out fishing. Dave fly fishes.
Mm-hmm.
We like that.
And we're really lucky to have all of our glacier lakes around and have, a lot of our abundance of water from there, and just to have the lakes to go to enjoy and sit by, and all of our waterfalls. Don't you love going to Cameron Falls in Waterton and just sitting there and feeding the little chipmunks and just feeling the mist come off you?
Totally not allowed. It's a provincial park, or it's a...
Okay, I can't help it if sunflower seeds fall out of my hand and it just happens to be there.
Don't admit that. That's illegal.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to, and like feed the wildlife.
My name is Danielle Lowe. And I feed chipmunks. Waterton Park.
Guilty. Waterton. Even the name Waterton.
I know.
It's like a ton of water.
Yeah.
Aw.
Waterloo.
I know, I was going to say, songs with water in them, quite a lot.
There are a lot. But, yeah.
But
anyway.
yeah, we are getting to the end of our water episode.
Water.
And I didn't know what we were going to say for our full hour of water.
Fun times. Who knows what's going to come out of our mouths, but there you go. There's a whole show.
I'm just sorry I mentioned water coming out of other places.
Oh, dear.
All right. Have you ever... Oh,
Are we playing Have You Ever?
Have you ever water edition? Have you ever? I don't know.
I don't know either. But here's a funny water story just to end off. So I did my scuba diving certification in Waterton in the lake, and it's glacier water. It's freezing cold, but that's where I had to do my final dive. And we had to wear 1/4-inch thick wetsuits, and we had the gloves that looked like Ninja Turtles and the toes that looked like Ninja Turtles and the hat. And it was so cold that we had to put water in a pot and cook it on a campfire and heat it up. We would pour it in our wetsuit, put it on really fast, jump in, do our dive, and then come back out. It was,
For how lovely hot water is.
not a fun experience.
Cold water, not my fan.
So I've been waiting to go diving in a warm place, because after I got certified, all you could do was the glacier lakes, because we live in Canada, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Well, I will
Fun
tell you
times.
about my favorite water place. My sister lived in Fort St. John, which is so high in British Columbia, almost to the Yukon border or Northwest Territories. It's way up there. But they had a hot spring, Liard Hot Springs. We drove for a few hours, and literally there were some wooden steps, a big hole in the ground with this beautiful, lovely, warm water.
Fabulous.
It was fantastic, just this untouched little loveliness. And so when I went to the Banff Hot Springs or the Fairmont Hot Springs, they're almost like swim pools.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me my Liard Hot Springs with its wooden steps, its dirty, gross water, but really hot.
My mom is from Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Oh, is she?
And they have, back in the 20s and the 30s, they had all these hotels there because people would go.
Oh.
It was like Bath in England, where you would just go and you'd have therapeutic baths to heal and anyway. And they have places that was the other thing I love in Italy, in places where you can just walk down the streets and they have these fountains. And you just walk around and you just fill up your water. And they had that in Arkansas too, where they just had, the natural springs, and you just go fill up your water and you take it home.
Well, one of my favorite places, which I didn't think would be, but when we were in France, when we went to Lourdes, that's where you didn't have to pay for the water, but you would buy all the jugs and everything that you wanted to
contain the water.
Yes, and to bring it home with you. But we just filled it up and drank it out of our water bottles then. But that was kind of a neat experience where people were craving the water of that area and consuming it.
Full of minerals and stuff, I'm sure. Good for you.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Anyway, we love water.
All right, H2O. Where we start, where we'll end. So thank you for joining us on this watery, I won't say wet episode. This watery episode.
Way to end it, Danielle.
I'm sorry. H2O. Drink it, Fountain of Youth it, IV it if you need to.
Water cigarette. Wait, patent pending. It's coming.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to like Boxwood Bureau or like I Am Eve Events. Buy your tickets, buy your products, And
There you go.
thanks to Jess FM. Like this page and mwah.
We'll see you next week.